You know, The Count of Monte Cristo is hands down one of the greatest revenge stories ever written. But what if I told you that the true story that inspired it was darker, way more brutal, and honestly, a lot more terrifying? Today, we're going to dive into the real-life tale of a man whose quest for vengeance had absolutely no limits.
I mean, really think about that. It's a question we've probably all asked ourselves when we're angry. If someone just ripped everything away from you, your love, your freedom, your entire future, what would be your breaking point?
His story isn't just about getting even. Oh no. It's about the methodical, cold-blooded annihilation of every single person who wronged him. It's fueled by a rage that just sat there and festered for almost a decade in the darkness of a dungeon.
Okay, so let's set the scene. We're in the early 1800s, Napoleonic France. I want you to meet Pierre Picot. He's a humble 25-year-old shoemaker. He's not rich, he's not famous, but he is probably happier than any man has a right to be. See, he's just gotten engaged to the love of his life, a beautiful woman named Marguerite Vigoureux, who, and this is a nice little bonus, also happens to be from a wealthy noble family. He is on top of the world, so he rushes to a local cafe to share the incredible news with the people he trusts most, his friends.
But here's where it all goes wrong. Instead of celebrating with him, his so-called friends, a cafe owner named Lupien, and his two buddies, Solari and Chalbard, are just eaten up by this toxic, bitter jealousy. They're also poor, you see, and watching Pierre get this incredibly lucky break is just more than they can handle.
Lupien, especially, just can't stomach it. He feels Pierre is completely unworthy of this good fortune. So he comes up with a plan, something he calls a prank. He and his friends are going to report Pierre to the police as a British spy. And you have to understand the timing here. This is Napoleonic France at war with Britain. This wasn't a prank, it was a death sentence. And just like that, in a single night, Pierre's entire world vanishes. On the eve of his wedding, he's arrested. There's no trial, no questions, not even a chance to defend himself. He just disappears. His fiancée, Marguerite, is left waiting at the altar, totally heartbroken and confused. And after 2 years of mourning the man she thinks abandoned her, she eventually moves on and marries Lupien, the very man who orchestrated her misery.
Meanwhile, Pierre Picot has been thrown into the infamous Fenestral Fortress. He has no clue why he's there or who betrayed him. All he knows is darkness, silence, and this gnawing, consuming feeling of a life that was stolen right out from under him. For 7 long years, he rots in that dungeon. The isolation, the filth, the despair, it just starts to carve away at who he was. The happy young shoemaker, he starts to die. And something else, something much harder and colder, begins to take his place. But fate, as it turns out, has a pretty twisted sense of humor. He ends up befriending another prisoner, a wealthy Italian priest named Father Torri. Right before he dies, the priest tells Pierre about a massive hidden treasure in Milan and gives him the key to finding it. And then, in that same year, Napoleon is exiled and all political prisoners, including Pierre, are set free. He walks out of that fortress a broken man, his face and his body so changed by suffering that he is completely unrecognizable. But he is also now impossibly rich, and he has a singular burning purpose: vengeance.
So with a new name and a new face, Pierre heads back to France. He finds an old acquaintance, a guy named Antoine Alout, who doesn't recognize him at all. Pierre offers him this brilliant diamond in exchange for one piece of information: what happened to Pierre Picot all those years ago. For that one diamond, Alout tells him everything: the prank, the names of the betrayers, and the final crushing blow, that Lupien had married Marguerite.
So now Pierre has the names. He knows exactly who destroyed his life. He finds out that Lupien, now a pretty successful guy, used Marguerite's fortune to open a popular cafe in Paris. So, using his completely unrecognizable face, Pierre gets a job there, as a waiter, patiently serving the very men he plans to utterly destroy.
A few weeks later, Chaubert's body is found in an alley. He's been stabbed to death. The only clue left behind is the knife handle, which is engraved with a single, chilling phrase: Number 1. Just days later, Solari collapses after leaving Lupien's cafe. The doctor tells him he's been poisoned. He dies the next day. And at the viewing, pinned to his chest is a small note with 2 words: Number 2. Lupien is now completely paralyzed with terror. His partners in crime are being picked off, and he just knows, he's next.
But for Lupien, right? The man who dreamed up the whole betrayal and stole his fiancée, a simple death would have been a mercy. Pierre decided Lupien wouldn't just die. No. He would lose everything, just like Pierre had. He was going to watch his entire world turn to ash.
Working from the inside as this humble waiter, Pierre unleashes an absolute storm of destruction on Lupien's family. He pays a criminal to seduce and then publicly humiliate Lupien's daughter at her own wedding. She actually dies from the shock. He masterfully frames Lupien's son for a robbery, which lands him a 20-year prison sentence. Then, while the family is reeling from tragedy, he burns Lupien's cafe to the ground. The unbearable stress of it all, losing her children, her fortune, it kills Marguerite.
Pierre's revenge was almost complete. Lupien was now homeless, penniless, and completely alone. Just a broken man wandering the streets of Paris. And it was only then that his quiet, hard-working waiter decided it was time for a little chat.
He confronts him in a dark alley. Lupien has no idea who this man is, this ragged waiter who has somehow orchestrated his complete and total downfall. And then, Pierre tells him his real name.
With Lupien's world totally annihilated, Pierre completes his checklist. He stabs his former friend right in the heart with a dagger engraved with the words "Number 3, finally putting an end to the man's miserable life.
And if that had been the end of it, this entire incredible story would have just died right there in that alley. But there was one last witness, Antoine Alout, the man who sold Pierre the truth for a diamond. He saw the final murder.
Alout captures Pierre and tries to extort the massive fortune from him. But with his revenge complete, Pierre just doesn't care anymore. Not about money, not about life, he's ready to die. Frustrated, Alout beats him, leaves him for dead, and flees to England with his secrets. The police find a dying Pierre who confesses everything before he passes away. And then, years later on his own deathbed, it was Alout who would finally tell the whole unbelievable story. Which really leaves us with one final huge question. Look, Picard suffered an unimaginable injustice, there's no doubt about it. But his response was a symphony of cruelty that destroyed an entire family. So what do you think? In the end, did he actually achieve justice? Or did the man who was wronged become the very evil he sought to punish?